Hi and welcome to episode 2 of my Shanghai vlog. First thing we're gonna do today is going to a couples massage. We actually took a DD there because the place was a little bit further away, but we overestimated the time it takes to get there. But it wasn't too bad because this gave us the chance to actually grab a proper breakfast before we heading into the massage. So we went to a family mart right next door and grabbed ourselves a breakfast and of course a couple of snacks. As for our first snack, we got ourselves a bag of chocolate-coated marshmallow. Actually, I'm not a huge fan of marshmallow, but this one was so good because the marshmallow was covered with dark chocolate, and I thought the crispiness of the chocolate worked so well with the softness of the marshmallow. Okay, the next snack I technically didn't really try because it has macadamia nuts in it, and I just found out after my husband ate one, and I am allergic to macadamia nuts. I don't know why my first thought was to spit it back into the bag. That's actually kind of gross. Anyways, according to my husband, they were also quite good. Okay, last snack for this section kind of surprised us. Up till this point, I didn't really notice that cucumber has their own taste. But yeah, we were kind of surprised that it actually really tasted like cucumber. It wasn't the yummiest, but honestly, it was definitely worth a try. Okay, now to the main reason why we got here, Lanzhou Spa. Right at the entrance, you can choose from a variety of essential oils that will be used during your massage and for your foot bath. The massage was hands down the best massage that I've ever had. And not only that, the service was top tier. They provided us with disposable underwear. I don't mean these plasticky thongs that you sometimes get at some massage places. I mean actual cotton underwear that we could wear during the massage. After we were finished with the massage, they served us some fresh fruit and hot tea. And we also got a goodie bag with some eye cream and makeup removers. Each of us. It was so good. We went back a second time during this trip and booked a 2-hour session this time because it was really that good. Later that day, we went to Jing'an district because I really wanted to try out the viral bakery called Be Baked. Unfortunately, the place was so packed and crowded that we did not end up going there. But the good thing is, next door was a crafting market. There were a lot of people having their own booth there and selling their own handmade things. It was so nice to see what other people make. They had pretty much a little bit of everything. They had jewelry, they had phone accessories and crochet things and little plushies. I got myself one of these cute little dogs because they were so cute and I wanted to hang them on my bag. It was actually really hard to decide which one to get, but I ended up getting this cutie here. I didn't film a lot of the artists because I was a little bit shy asking them if I could film them, but on the other side I also didn't want to just film other people's work, so I ended up not having much footage of this. Looking back, I don't really know why I felt so uncomfortable asking because I wish I could show you guys more of the work that the people there did today. As you can see, we are back in one of Shanghai's many malls, mainly because we wanted to go to a different location of Be Baked because the first one was so crowded, but we kind of got distracted by the store called Top Toy, which is also a huge blind box store here in China. Just like Pop Mart, they had a variety of their own original characters, but also a couple of collaborations going on. I got myself a Naruto blind box. I was really hoping to get Naruto, but in the end I got Kakashi, which is not too bad actually because it could have been worse. It could have been worse. Now let's talk about the bakery that we've all been waiting for, at least I've been waiting for, Be Baked. Luckily, this location was not as crowded as the first one, so they still had a lot of things left. Safe to say, I really had to help myself back not to go crazy because I have a really big sweet tooth when it comes to pastries. So I really tried to be mindful to get only the things that look the best to me. and my husband, of course. At the time we went there, they had their Christmas collection out, and it was so funny to see because in Germany we don't really associate Christmas with strawberries, but they had a lot of things strawberry themed. You can see that there's this little Christmas tree with the strawberries, and it does look really Christmassy. And they also had other desserts that were with strawberries and they were Christmas themed. So it was really interesting to see how other places associate Christmas. They also had holiday themed drinks with, of course, strawberries. But I love Christmas and I love strawberries, so I'm not complaining. But what I'm complaining about is the strawberries were so sour. They were so sour on the desserts. They were not sweet at all, which I kind of get because it's kind of off season. This is a sparkling pineapple Americano. Very interesting combination.
Das sieht wirklich sowas von unästhetisch aus. Hier. Ja.
The next morning, we went to the North Bund to check out a store that had been on our list. But on the way there, we walked past a tea house with the prettiest cake in the window. They looked way too good to ignore, so there was absolutely no chance I was just going to walk past them. Naturally, we had to go inside and give them a try. Okay, now let's talk about the cakes. So the first one was rose and peach flavored. The second one was chocolate, and the third one was, I think it was a mango passion fruit mix. All of these were actually more a mousse than a cake. They didn't really have cake filling inside, but you know what the best part was? They gave me a little hammer so I could crack the sugar coating on the first cake. It was so much fun. I did not end up eating all the sugar on top because this would have given me a major sugar crash, but the sugar was actually really good because it was rose flavored, so it worked really well with the peach and rose flavored cake underneath. And most importantly, say it with me, it was not too sweet. Oh yeah, and by the way, I did not like the mango flavored one. I am not a huge fan of mango flavored anything, but my husband loves everything mango flavored, so that one was just for him. Right next to the tea house was another very highly recommended store called To Summer. It is a Chinese perfume brand. Their scents are mainly inspired by tea and nature. This is pretty much how I would sum it up because none of these scents are something that I've ever smelled before. Each of them were so special. I really love the packaging of the perfumes. Some of them had special edition caps, but they were all sold out. But I think that the regular caps were also very beautiful. They also had candles and room sprays, room fragrance, everything surrounding scents. I really wanted to get a candle, but the candle was too heavy, and now I kind of regret because there was one with osmanthus, I think, and it was so nice. But yeah, but guess what I got instead? I got another lamp. Yeah. Don't ask me what I'm gonna do with all these lamps, but I got another lamp, and that one is actually a candle lamp. So you can put a candle underneath, it warms up the candle and melts the wax and distributes the scent in a way. So you don't have to burn a candle. This is really practical, especially for people with children or in my case with cats. It's also much safer because it doesn't have an open flame. On this trip, I got a scent from a Chinese perfume brand called To Summer. This is how the packaging looks like. I think that it will always remind me of this trip when I'm back at home and then when I use this one again. This one is the To Summer triple teas. And honestly, it smells how it sounds. It's basically a tea scent. So beautiful. They also had limited editions where the cap is a little bit different and very artsy. But I feel like this one is also beautiful, and this is the perfume. In the evening, we took the subway to Yu Garden or Yuyun Garden. It's located in the old city of Shanghai in Huangpu district. It's a Chinese garden with beautiful old buildings surrounding the area. This place has a lot of shops and a lot of street food and restaurants. So we mainly came here to try out some of these spots. But before doing so, I gotta show you something. The instrument the artist was using is called wulusi, which is a instrument made from a pumpkin. So you can basically see the pumpkin and the flute. And I thought it was so interesting, I had to include this clip in this video. Okay, now let's talk about food. So we went to a restaurant that has these huge ass dumplings. I think there were a couple other spots that also have these. So we just went for the first best spot, and probably this wasn't the best choice because, to be honest guys, the food was so mid. So we also ordered glutinous rice balls that were filled with meat, and we also got a bowl of the famous Shanghainese crab noodles, and everything was very mid. Everything was edible, but it wasn't the best food that we had on this trip. So I would actually recommend you guys to go somewhere else. If you really want to try traditional Shanghainese food, this is probably not the best spot, but I still think it's worth the experience grabbing food in this setting. You know, just adjust your expectations when it comes to the food at these specific kinds of touristy spots. But since I did not eat that much in the restaurant, I went to one of the food stalls outside and got myself a scallion pancake, and this one was actually really good. It was made fresh right on the spot, so it was super fresh. Next day, we went to another very popular area and also one of my most favorite areas in Shanghai, which is called Xintiandi. That area was just stunning. I felt like that area was the perfect mix between Europe and Shanghai. I just don't know how else to describe it. The vibe there felt so different compared to the rest of Shanghai. They had a lot of Western brands, but also a lot of Asian and Chinese brands. They also had a lot of restaurants there. Unfortunately, that day we did not go to one of the restaurants because all of them were so packed. So we decided not to go to a restaurant and just explore that area a little bit. And also this street was such a popular photo spot. I saw so many people taking pictures there, and there were also very professional photographers offering their services. And of course, I also took a couple of pictures there. In the last vlog, I showed you guys this cafe that was completely bear themed. And when I went to Xintiandi, I found out that it's an actual fashion brand. And the clothing was so cute. Also, everything about the clothing had some sort of bear elements to it. They had actual tiny teddy bears hanging on to your shoulder. I could not resist the cuteness of the store, so I got myself a trench coat with a little bear on the shoulder. At that time, they also had a Harry Potter collaboration going on. I think this is definitely perfect for Harry Potter fans. My husband was on the hunt for a beaded bracelet, and we went to a store called CU, which is located in one of Xintiandi's malls, and this store was specialized in making accessories out of gemstones.
Sag mal, was du da hast.
And in the end, my husband found one and also got a gift with purchase, and the lady was so nice, she even gave me one as well.
Bye bye. Endlich eine Tasche, wo alle unsere Einkäufe reinpassen.
Now let's talk about one of my favorite parts when traveling: food. In the same mall, they also had a food court with Southeast Asian cuisine, and I got myself a plate of krapao and an iced mocha. I've already tried this dish in many different places, and this was one of the best places I've ever tried it. It was so well seasoned and so fresh, so I highly recommend visit that place if you plan on going to Xinkandi. In the evenings, my husband and I, we went back to the bund because my husband wanted to take some pictures of the sunset. So I was just sitting there and enjoying the beautiful sunset. And that's pretty much it for this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it and see you guys soon. Bye!